All right, welcome to Cienega High School Boyd Baker Gymnasium on the campus of Cienega High School. The Cholla Chargers rolling in a record of 15-8, 3-3 in the 5A Southern, coached by a great coach in Masai Dean, and they have a very talented lineup. Number 1, Ciaran Williams, the senior starting at shooting guard. Number 2, Masai Dean, the senior at point guard. Number 11, the senior shooting guard, Fabian Escobedo. Number 22, Adrian Perez, senior at guard. And number 24, the senior, their big, is Cameron Walker at 6'4". For the Cats of Cienega High School, it's number 1, Moses Behige. Number 2, Ben Kamak. Number 11, Connor Bailey. Number 21, Gabe Proctor. And number 22, Mason Tippett. We'll pause for a moment for the Star Spangled Banner. Back in just a minute here on Bobcat TV. All right, welcome back to Cienega High School Boyd Baker Gymnasium. A great matchup here on a Friday night. The Cats of Cienega High School, 19-6 on the year, 5-1 in the 5A Sonoran under first-year coach Jason Apodaca. The Cholla Chargers are 15-8, 3-3 in the 5A Southern under head coach Masai Dean. And, of course, his son, Masai Dean Jr., is the star on the team. Robert Ortiz joining Jason Miller tonight on the broadcast. Robert, what are we expecting here tonight?
I don't know much about this Cholla team, but I do know they have that star player, Masai Dean, so I'm looking to see if he's really as good as the stat sheet shows. And for the Cats, I'm really looking forward to seeing Ben Kamak, like always, a sharpshooter. Very great player to watch. Very
good. I think that's what to be expected here. I will say Masai Dean is as advertised, right? So watching him in warm-ups, great skying rebound there by Mason Tippett. Dean was off the mark on his first shot attempt.
Moses Behige, I mean, I'm ready to see him. You know, last game I went to Buena, he didn't have the greatest of games, but I'm excited to see if he can kind of bounce back from that one.
Well, the Cats crushed Nogales last night, down at Nogales, and they also beat, I think it was Desert View on Tuesday night. And last Thursday, we were down at Sierra Vista, Buena High School. Great team there, coached by Tyler Molesworth. They had quite a trio of players. It was Jandre Hawthorne and Ashan Zieg and A.J. Forrest. That trio was just deadly at Buena, and their student section was just completely amped up. Very similar for me to like Cameron Indoor, where the Duke Blue Devils played collegiately. So that was a very tough match for Cienega, plus all the social media chatter that was happening pregame. I think it kind of took a couple of the Cats out of their normal routine. So Connor Bailey being first and foremost among those, he had an atypical game. I expect him to be locked down, shut down tonight, and his matchup, his assignment is a very difficult one in Masai Dean.
Yeah, and then speaking of that Buena game, apparently that trash talk is still overflowing into the playoffs because apparently they've still been chatting back and forth after the game. That's from what I've heard from Randy Carrillo.
Well, you would know, and Randy is a sharpshooter, a senior from Cienega, number 3, great three-point shooter. So there's a foul here against, it was Cienega's Moses Behige with his first personal foul. And shooting 2 from the stripe for Cholla, it's Adrian Perez, and he is 77% from the line, hits his first free throw. Well, that's interesting, Robert, because up for grabs tonight, theoretically, if the Cats were able to defeat Cholla, which is a very difficult challenge, by the way. But if the Cats can do that tonight, then they should claim the advantage for the region, the 5A Sonoran region, and capture that crown. They split with Buena. The Cats beat Buena at Cienega earlier in the year. They lost last Thursday at Sierra Vista. And they would have the power point advantage if they were to defeat Cholla tonight.
Yeah, I mean, so this is a huge game for the Cats. The Cats definitely want to make sure they're locked in this game and try to get this win.
Absolutely. And I think it's a pretty good crowd here on a Friday night. So better attended crowd than you might get on a Tuesday or a Wednesday.
Sure.
Oh, nice move there by Mason Tippett. They're calling a foul on the floor, and that foul will be against Ciaran Williams. So Ciaran has 2 fouls now, and there are 2 team fouls against Buena. As you take a look there of Mason Tippett set to rebound. So athletic, so smooth, so versatile, offensively, defensively, silky smooth. And he had a big 20 points down at Buena. I would consider it a quiet 20 points because he just made it look pretty effortless.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to see that matchup with him and Cameron Walker, because Cameron Walker, a great defender, great shot blocker. And Mason Tippett just gets all of his points kind of down low. So I'm excited to see how they go back and forth all night.
Absolutely. Cats here trying to run a break. Nice pass there. An extra pass from Proctor. So smooth to Tippett. It's a basket and a foul.
Wow, Mason Tippett already started getting going early. He's definitely going to be a key factor if they want to win this game for sure.
Absolutely, and I think he just kind of checks every box, right? So his coach, Jason Apodaca, speaks glowingly about Tippett, who is also a state champion, oh, by the way, in boys volleyball under the great coach Heather Mott. So Tippett here, the three-point play the old-fashioned way. He's got 3 points to lead all scorers. Kamak has a pair, and the Bobcats are up on top 5-2. Foul called there against Gabe Proctor, so Proctor picks up his first. And now the Cats have 2 fouls to Cholla's 3 fouls. So Masai Dean, right, is a great shooter. He shoots 51% from beyond the three-point arc. And that's consistent. As a freshman, as a sharpshooter whose sole purpose was to shoot threes, like a catch-and-shoot shooter, he was 51% as a freshman, 49% as a sophomore, 49% last year as a junior, now 51%. Cats running again. Oh, nice swat there from behind. A great block by Cameron Walker.
There's that shot blocking ability right there by Cameron Walker.
Big time, 6'4". He's very fluid, very athletic, and very tall. So great job from him to swat that one off the glass.
Yeah, but going back to Masai Dean, those are crazy numbers to have from 3, especially in high school basketball,
yes,
where players aren't as consistent as you can see in college or the NBA. But I mean, those are amazing numbers.
Big time shooter. His dad was a big time player for Tucson High, class of 1993. Dean with his first bucket, and I'm going to call that the first points of many for him tonight. Oh, a good take there and a rough landing there by Moses. So that brings a pall over the crowd here as Behige goes down hard on that left side. Tough as could be. So you see Connor Bailey and Moses Behige. Those kids are always all over the floor. The foul is against Cholla's Cameron Walker. That's his second. So he's got 2. Ciaran Williams has 2. And those Chargers are in trouble early here. I don't know how much depth that Cholla has just looking at their stats and their roster.
Yeah, it looks like most of their scoring just comes from their starting 5. But if they're going to win, they're going to need that bench to kind of step up and just kind of put some points on the board.
And I think for Jason Apodaca and Cienega, the depth is one of the advantages on this roster. This is a rotation that can go 9, sometimes 10 deep, so you've got players that you can rely on who play valuable roles coming off the bench for the Bobcats.
And a player that doesn't have crazy stats if you look at it on the game, but I mean that freshman Patrick Flores, whenever he's in the game, it just seems like he just cannot miss. It seems like he's just doing everything right as a freshman. Very
high percentage shooter. Behige misses both free throws, which is a surprise. He's 75% from the stripe. Nice trap here. Inside Dean in the corner. Oh, good screen. Oh, nice pass there on the roll and a dunk. Throwing it down is Cameron Walker. Classic pick and roll. So Walker setting the screen and then rolling deftly in a beautiful bounce pass there by Masai Dean.
What I've seen so far is they're definitely trying to get Masai Dean involved. It seems like he has the ball every play, and they're trying to run pick and roll to either they're going to leave Masai Dean open or Masai Dean's going to find the open man and he's going to hit it. I mean, he's going to hit them.
Too strong there on the shot, and I think we have a foul here down low. I think it's against Gabe Proctor. We'll see who it's against by the referee. And it is Proctor. Proctor with a second foul, so he's in foul trouble now for the Cats. So 3 players on the floor. Cholla has Sierra Williams and Cameron Walker with 2 fouls. Cienega has Gabe Proctor with 2 fouls. And the Chargers of Cholla on top, 6-5, 4:20 on the clock, first quarter. A little bit strong on that one. Again, I saw Dean just dropping buckets from behind the arc with high frequency during the warm-up. So he's not quite dialed in yet, but he's a pure shooter. So it could just be his next shot that gets him clicking again. Proctor off the back of the iron. Nice rebound by Kamak.
Speaking of sharpshooters, I mean, Ben Kamak, probably maybe the best shooter on Cienega's team, but
yes,
especially over recent games, I mean, it's just like you can't see him miss that much.
Nice hesitation, nice little pump fake double step there. Very physical there by Tippett to bang down low.
That's great.
And some great defense, absolutely, by Cameron Walker, who is an intimidating rim protector, shot blocker down there.
Yeah. Cameron Walker, you know, he doesn't look as big as Mason Tippett, but I mean, it just seems like he just impacts the shot so much, like no matter on his size.
I would say that Walker might be maybe a little bit heavier with mass, but Tippett has an inch advantage over him. But Tippett is not reed thin, but he's not super bulky either.
Yeah.
Very smooth, though, as a player. And the Cats here are going to go to the bench. Isaac Sadobnev, who plays wonderful defense, is about to check in on the floor for the Cats. Good D there by Kamak to challenge that one. Strong take there by Walker, no call.
I love watching Isaac play. You know, he's only a junior, but he's just, I love watching him play. He's only a junior, but he's just so athletic. He's like a human highlight, really. He's just so fun to watch. Every time we go out there, you expect like a dunk or a poster or something like that, and it's just fun.
And you can see here the exasperation on the face of Coach Masai Dean as Cameron Walker has 3 fouls here. So he's got 3 fouls. The Chargers have 5 team fouls, and Walker's going to have to sit for a while. There's 3:03 on the clock in the first quarter. Such a great player, and it's really difficult for the Chargers to kind of weather him on the bench.
With Cameron Walker on the bench, I don't know how well they're going to be able to maintain Mason Tippett with his size and his athleticism.
You can just kind of feed Tippett and kind of feature him down in the low block. The player that just subbed onto the floor for Cholla is a senior, number 10, Anthony Rascon. Gabe Proctor takes a seat on the bench, and the Cats bring in Isaac Sadobnev, number 5, the junior. Very good, very athletic defensively, and he's got the hops. I would say he can leap to the rafters.
Yeah, watching the dunk contest at the start of the year was crazy. If anyone saw that.
I did not see it.
He was throwing down windmills. He threw down a through the legs dunk.
Wow, I could believe it.
It was fun to watch.
I could believe it.
It was him and Mason Tippett going at it in the dunk contest.
I wish I were there for that one.
Yeah, it was fun to watch. Fun to be there for sure.
So Connor Bailey picks up his second. Oh, sorry. So they have 1 foul on Bailey. I have him for 2, so I must have been off in my ledger. So 1 foul against Bailey.
I mean, so far I haven't seen much offense out of either of these teams. But
No.
They're playing great defense.
Correct.
But, I mean, sometimes those defensive games are just what you need, kind of test yourselves. Who really has, like, the stronger defense? Who has a stronger mentality to keep going even though you're missing shots?
Oh, it's very touchy, right? So that's a very ticky-tack, touchy foul. Masai Dean will pick up his first personal foul. Again, a very good defender. So looking at Dean's stats, 21.3 points per game, 4.2 assists, 2.6 steals, 59% from the floor, which is unbelievable, 51% from 3, and 82% from the stripe. So he checks every single box that you want, as well as the work ethic. Son of the coach. His older brother's played. His older brother, Marcel, is playing at Kansas Wesleyan. So he knows exactly what it takes to thrive at a high level. Great rebound by Tippett. And he had his arm grabbed there down on the floor. I think the foul is going to be against 10. Let's see. Yeah, so Anthony Rascon picks up foul number 1.
Mason Tippett is just like a magnet for the ball when it comes off the rim. He's just so good at rebounding, so good at being in the right place at the right time. So
quick, right? So rebounding, I think, is anticipation and just effort, just trying to go and get that basketball. He's got such quick hops, too, kind of like an old-school pogo stick where he can just boing, boing, just leap up and snatch it.
Yeah. his size, for his size, he's just so fast, so athletic.
But so fluid, so silky smooth.
It is. You know, most people his size are kind of, you know, not as coordinated, you know, slower. But, I mean, Mason Tippett just seems like he's, like, in, like, a guard's body playing at center almost.
Yes, and I look at Gabe Proctor kind of similarly to that, even though he's shorter. Proctor is at 6'3", but I think he must have run point guard when he was a kid in youth basketball because he seems to have a kind of a point guard handle, more of like a point forward for the Cats. So the Cats have a lot of deft ball handlers on the floor at one time. You have potentially all 5 of those Cats who could take the ball from one end of the court to the other if they had to run points.
Yeah. Their entire starting 5, like, honestly, could dribble the ball up the court if they needed to.
Tippett's got 4 points. The Cats have a 1-point lead at 7-6. And you see some full court pressure now applied here by Cienega, and pretty easily broken there by Masai Dean. And we've got a push here, and this is going to be against Connor Bailey, and that will be his second.
Yeah, Troy didn't really seem to struggle with that press right there. They just broke that in a matter of seconds. So.
Right, very easily.
Hopefully, you know, the Cats are hoping they could do a little bit more damage. But also part of the press is like to kind of wear them out, make them a little bit tired, not as much as getting the ball back and creating turnovers.
Some good defense there from Mason Tippett down in the paint. Dean, a little pull-up jumper, and he's good. So starting to find his rhythm now with 4 points. Cholla reclaims the lead 8-7.
I'm just realizing now Masai Dean's a lefty. I mean, I love watching, I don't know if it's just me, but I love watching lefties shoot. It just always seems so smooth every time.
James Harden comes to mind. I'm not a huge Harden fan, but he's a great shooter.
Yeah, he's just so smooth.
Almost. Sadabnev too strong there on the layup off the rebounds. And the Cats again with full court pressure. Great defense by Bailey. Great job not to get a foul, actually. And now he's swarming here on the trap.
The intensity here by the Cats is already looking crazy. I mean, Connor Bailey in specific, he's out there. You can see his feet never stop moving out there.
There's a late call. I think it's an accurate call, too. The foul will be against Mason Tippett. That'll be his first personal foul. So first foul against Tippett. The Cats have 6 fouls as a team. Cholla has 7, and Masai Dean at the line, an 82% free throw shooter. But you're right, the intensity defensively from both teams here is ratcheted up right off the bat.
Yeah, fun to watch. Masai Dean making it. That's, you know, not very. I mean, I'm saying it's very common of him because he's just such a great shooter.
Right. Just like clockwork for him.
Yeah.
I'm sure tens of thousands of free throws over the course of his career.
Yes.
And he made that look easy. He's got 6 points here. And Cholla has a 3-point lead at 10-7.
Kamak from deep. Oh,
Tippett trying to lay that in. 1, 2, go up another time. Third time's a charm for Mason Tippett.
They are really struggling with Cameron Walker on the bench. It just seems like they cannot get a rebound. They can't box out Mason Tippett. I mean, he's so big, but then you don't account for the factor that he can get his head to the rim when he wants it to.
Going to give a lot of credit to his, he's got great size at 6'5", but the leaping ability, you have to attribute that in part to his volleyball career. Because as a middle hitter or an outside hitter, you're just flying and trying to crush that volleyball. You're just taking off like every single time in practice.
Yeah, I mean, he's arguably better at volleyball than he is at basketball. I mean, I've watched him play volleyball. He's a monster.
Oh, yeah, he's a big-time player. Big time. He was huge in that run last year for the Cats to claim their second volleyball state championship for the boys under Heather Mott. And as cool as they come.
Yeah, I work with Mason Tippett, actually, and I talk to him sometimes about balancing both sports. And, I mean, he says it's hard. Like, he'll go straight from school to work, straight from work to practice, and then straight from that practice, like basketball practice, to volleyball practice. And that just seems like a lot. That's a lot of work ethic that he's showing right there.
It's a great work ethic, no doubt about it. So a jump ball here, and Cienega will retain possession with the arrow. Subbing back onto the floor for the Cats is Gabe Proctor, and he'll spell Tippett, who deserves a rest here. I like the management here, the workload management from Jason Apodaca. You can sub out Tippett here for the last 50 seconds of the first quarter, plus get an extra minute, so he gets a nice little spell of break. And Kamak hits for 3.
You cannot leave him open. No matter how far he is from the rim, you cannot leave him open. He is a shooter.
Big-time shooter, 43% from behind the three-point line. Cats 13-10. 25 seconds on the clock here in the first quarter.
A player on the floor here that doesn't
got to make those layups.
Player on the floor here that doesn't get much playing time, but I love to watch play is Nick Johnson. He's a great defender, and he's very well at finishing around the rim.
Yeah, he is a nice player. He contributes a lot, right? Eric Bejarano contributes. Randy Carrillo contributes. All those Cats are contributing here.
Yeah.
So they've got a foul. I missed it. Was it a foul? I may have missed that one. 6 seconds here. 5 seconds now for Cholla. Dean for three. Yes. Oh, and his bench here erupting off of that one. Masai Dean so smooth. He's got 9 points.
Gave him a little bit too much space on that one, you know. They weren't pressuring him as much as they should. He should be honestly picked up from half court with his scoring ability. They should definitely start picking him up a little further up the court.
Good to see Karan Watson here. So, boy, Karan shot some great video last Thursday down at Buena High School, and he had Connor Bailey mic'd up for sound. I'm sure you've seen that video that was like shared on, I don't know if it's Snapchat or Instagram. I got the two platforms confused, but what a great piece of video there. And he added like the subtitles just in case you didn't like detect the audio. So that was really some sterling quality work. But you had a player surreptitiously mic'd up, which I don't know if that's a violation of AIA, but I liked it. It just gives you a completely different perspective about what's happening on the floor.
Yeah, I love watching like mic'd up because it kind of shows you what's going on in the head of the players when they're in like the heat of the battle, when they're playing in the middle of the game. Like, what do they talk about? What do they say?
Right. Every time that that Bailey would take it strong to the rack, he would say "and one," like as he was shooting his layup, which is great. But you're right, Cholla is deficient defensively without their big Cameron Walker, who's got 3 fouls, right? So unfortunate, they're a different team with him on the floor than without him on the floor.
Another thing I forgot to mention is Randy Carrillo actually hurt himself. I forgot what it was, but he injured his knee, and it was not even basketball related. He was lifting weights. So he was talking to me about it today. So they really hope that he can be fully healthy before playoffs come back around.
He's a nice piece for them in their puzzle. He's a spot-up three-point shooter who also plays great defense. You have Nick Johnson, who's on the floor right now for the Cats, too, who is a very active defender, number 10. Oh, nice swat there. Sadovnev may have gotten him with the body. So I think he got him cleanly with the right hand, but I think there was some body contact there, and a great job by Dean to initiate that. It's the first foul against Sadovnev. And now 7 fouls against Cienega. So Cholla's in the 1-and-1 bonus. And Cienega's also in the bonus 1-and-1.
The more I watch Masai Dean play, the more, like you said, it reminds me of Harden, the way he's able to get to the free throw line, the way he's able to shoot the ball, the way he's able to do everything on the court. Like, he's a great rebounder. Even though he's a guard, he's a great
He is very active rebounder, right? So 5.6 boards per game. I would say a better defender than Harden, right? Who's known for his lack of defense. That's why I don't like Harden. Well, he went to ASU too, but those are 2 reasons why I don't like James Harden. The beard annoys me as well.
Yeah.
I just want to shave it off. Good take there by Sadovnev. Great defense. Nice rebounds by Anthony Rascon. And now Ciaran Williams with the ball in the paint. Masai Dean looking for a screen. Taking it strong.
Oh.
And there's a basket. So fearless there is Dean taking it strong to the rack.
Masai Dean is just having his way right now. He's
13 points.
He wants to.
Big time scorer, big time player. Fearless. Tippett trying to dish that one off too late. Dean comes up with a steal. And Cholla now a 4-point lead at 17-13 with 6:44 on the clock in the second quarter.
Yeah, the Cats are going to have to try to slow down Masai Dean because this start of the second quarter, he's already been hot. He's already scoring points.
Nice takeaway. Sadovnev might take off here. Cleared for takeoff. Isaac Sadovnev with the jam, and that energizes the crowd here at Boyd Baker Gymnasium.
And going back to earlier, like what I said, he is a human highlight reel. Every time you see him on the floor, you're expecting a dunk, and when he gets those breakaways, just so exciting. The anticipation that you know he's going to dunk the ball.
Gives me chills. So you've got a second foul here picked up by Tippett. So you've got to kind of manage his workload here a little bit too and keep him out of trouble. So it'll be a 1-on-1 opportunity at the stripe for Cholla's Anthony Rascon. And I don't have really any stats on him with his free throw percentage. So he's 80% from the floor, but he's not a high volume shooter. So he may have 1 or 2 attempts on the season, and we'll see how his form is here from the line. You see Jason Apodaca playing to the referee. He's arguing about something here with fouls, and you got the same gestures. They both have their hands out wide like, you know, what's going on? And the other person's like, well, this is what's going on. Yeah. So it's all part of it. You're trying to massage the referees to get some calls down the stretch. Both coaches will always do those kind of things.
I'm surprised we haven't seen more of Mason Tippett with Cameron Walker being out early in foul trouble.
Right. Like just featuring him down in the low block.
Yeah. I'm surprised they haven't done more of that because there's a huge size advantage down there as of right now.
Absolutely. And very smooth is Rascon from the stripe. And it's 19-15 Cholla. Tippett in the paint. Nice move there. Very deft. So you had a player trying to draw a charge on Tippett. Tippett very wisely spinning to his left. And it was, you know, clearly not a foul. But trying to draw one against Tippett to get him in trouble, which is a great strategy here for Cholla.
He's got great footwork down low.
Yeah, smooth.
Great footwork down low. Oh.
Nice rebound and a quick break here. Proctor is looking for Bailey. Here's Connor Bailey, a little bit off there on the bounce pass. Nice anticipation, good steal by Adrian Perez.
It's looking like that maybe got tipped a little bit. I don't know if that was tipped or if it was just kind of an off pass right there.
Yeah, it was a little bit awkward there. He was kind of waiting for Bailey, right? He had to hesitate for him, and the defender allowed him to like pounce in on that one. Dean Smooth from the baseline. Masai Dean is unbelievable. 15 points here tonight for Cholla.
That's great defense by Ben Kamak, just better offense by Masai Dean. I don't know what you do against that.
Tippett gets his own rebound. Gets the ball poached away. And Dean comes up with it. Technical foul against Jason Apodaca. Boy, that referee really pounced on that one. He couldn't wait to call the tee on Apodaca. So we're going to have a technical foul. It was a great steal there by Dean. Kind of lost in the transition of this one. And Apodaca is still pleading his case. And that coach is very adamant here in trying to direct him. And you see the assistant coach and also Isaac Sadabnev trying to keep Coach Apodaca out of trouble.
Yeah, he loves the game, so of course he's going to get really passionate about it. But you know, you got to calm down maybe a little bit and just get your team together, because if he's not calm, the team may not be calm. So you might want to try and calm down a little bit. The
other thing, though, that it shows me is that Apodaca cares about these kids, and he's got their back.
Yeah.
So this is the kind of guy you want with you in a foxhole, as they say. So the players know that he's got their back, and that must carry a lot of weight with those athletes, right, in terms of effort and energy. And then you got a coach who is going to fight for you out there on the floor.
Yeah, and if someone is to complain about a call, you're going to want the coach to complain rather than the players, and the coaches are always going to say that if there's a bad call, they'll talk to the refs about it. You don't have to always go to the ref and talk to him.
Exactly. Dean with 15 points. Misses both free throws. Very uncharacteristic for a great shooter, which Masai Dean is at 82% from the line. Again, from the floor, he's 59%, and he's 51% from three. So for a player to have that high of a percentage and be a guard shooting predominantly from outside, super impressive. Good defense there from Connor Bailey. Yeah, Bailey's energized here, flexing.
Connor Bailey trying to get this crowd up on their feet, trying to get the team a little bit of momentum. We're using his defensive abilities.
Well, I saw Bailey in the corridor during the JV game. He had a Kobe Bryant t-shirt, and it said Mamba Mentality. Connor Bailey has the Mamba Mentality. Yeah. Relentless, fearless, passionate, active. 21-17 Cholla.
He really is like an energizer for this team. He'll do what no one else is willing to do on the team. He'll do the dirty work. He'll go out there, play great defense. He'll go out there and hit spot-up threes. You know, he's really a great player.
Nice pass here into the paint. Tippett fakes once, fakes twice, and it's a tie-up here. Great hands by Masai Dean to get the tie-up, and Cholla will take it on the arrow.
The crowd's pretty loud out here tonight. Every time that Cholla misses a shot, I swear they erupt every time.
Well, let's say Cienega's missing a couple of their ringleaders, a couple of their seniors who are very active. Brady Carson and Connor Balmer come to mind right away.
Yeah.
Both those boys, I think, are working tonight.
Oh.
Robert, where do you work at?
Burger King on Rita Road.
BK on Rita Road.
Yes, sir.
All right, very good.
Great place.
I'm a fan of the Whopper, the classic Whopper.
Yeah.
And Mason works at BK as well?
Yes, sir.
Very nice.
It's fun to work with them. We always just talk about sports.
Oh, dude, I'm sure you guys talk about basketball,
Yeah.
football, like whatever sport's happening.
Yeah, ask him what's going on with the team, what's going on with him, how college is looking for him. It's fun.
Very bright future. I'm glad that you guys work together. It just makes me happy to kind of visualize that. Let me ask you, Super Bowl Sunday, we're a week and 2 days away, so 9 days out from the Super Bowl in Glendale. Philadelphia Eagles, Kansas City Chiefs. Give me your prediction for the Super Bowl, Robert.
I mean, I want the Chiefs to win just because I like Patrick Mahomes. I want to see him keep stacking up the achievements. I want to see him become like one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
He is.
He already is. Yeah.
He's there.
But that Eagles team is just so good. The roster is so well built. I mean, I just don't see a team beating the Eagles with how great their offense and defense is.
As an Eagle fan, it makes me nervous. Every student I ask is saying Philadelphia. I just need some Chiefs fans to come up to me on Monday. Just tell me the Chiefs are going to roll the Eagles. It would make me feel better. But I feel like that Eagles team is pretty stacked. Nice take there off the dribble by Adrian Perez. Nice layup. He's got 4 points. The Chargers have a 6-point lead, 23-17 with 4:12. And mind you, all this is happening with their star big player, Cameron Walker, on the bench, saddled with 3 fouls.
He has been on the bench almost this entire game.
Tippett, nice little hop step there. Tippett's got 13 points. So the Cats are certainly taking advantage of Walker's absence, feeding Mason Tippett repeatedly down the low post. Great defense there by Moses Behige.
Oh.
Nice rebound by Adrian Perez. Back out to Dean.
They definitely want this matchup right here. Connor Bailey and Masai Dean, one of their best defenders, Troy's best scorer. This is really fun to watch right there.
Yeah, I'm going to imagine that all these players will be exhausted after tonight, but especially Connor Bailey. It's such a big responsibility. And Moses is great defensively, too, so you could kind of interchange those two. And then you've got Sadabnev, who's this unbelievable as a lockdown defender. You've got 3, I would say, lockdown defenders outside. And there's Dean again.
And I mean, the thing about him that's not going to stop on the stat sheet is he wears out his defenders. From what I'm watching, he just never stops moving on the court. He'll be at the top of the key, he'll go to the corner, he'll cut to the paint. And he wears out his defenders so that he can get easy points. 19
points for Masai Dean. Moses Behige got his legs intertwined, and that's a second foul against Moses. And now Cholla is in the double bonus. So every time there's a foul, that Cholla Chargers team will take 2 free throws from the stripe. Cats are close behind. Cholla has 9 team fouls against them. So 1 more foul against Cholla, and Cienega is in the double bonus as well. So an evenly called contest here in terms of fouls. Yeah, I think that jeer from the fans in the student section affecting the shot there on the free throw by Ciaran Williams.
Yeah, it kind of made me jump a little bit when they first started yelling. That was a lot louder than I expected them to be right now.
Williams strokes a second, so his first point of the night. A 67% shooter from the line is Ciaran Williams, a senior shooting guard. Wild pass there. Kamaka, good job to snatch that one. And a little bit of contact there. You know, he was really out of space, so he was right on that sideline in front of the Chargers bench. And a little bit of slight contact by Masai Dean, who picks up foul 2. Team foul 10 against Cholla. And a great job there by Ben Kamaka, very savvy veteran senior, to draw that foul.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could see Masai Dean right there was trying to pressure him, you know, because he was already so close to the sideline trying to pressure him to go out. But, I mean, guess he got a little too touchy and bumped him a little bit.
Kamaka's a strong shooter from the stripe, 76%, misses the first one. He's got his routine here. I like to watch these kids with their routine. 2 dribbles, spin the ball, take a breath, and shoot. Off on both. Nice tip out there by Tippett, but corralled by Ciaran Williams.
Yeah, it seems like everyone has their own, like, different free throw routine. You know, it's just fun to watch. It's like kind of like a mental thing. You have to do it or you're not going to make the free throw.
I watched a video recently of Kobe Bryant with a reporter from Time Magazine kind of giving him some little tips and tricks, and he also talked about his routine from the stripe. So I'm sure you can find that video on YouTube. Great to see there, the legendary Kobe Bryant. Nice rebound there by Connor Bailey. Bailey for three. Yes! Bailey's first basket of the night.
Definitely cannot afford to leave Connor Bailey open. If he's open from a spot up three, he's going to hit that. He's one of the best catch and shoot players on the team. For sure.
You got to be careful, right? You don't want to get into like a shooting contest with Masai Dean. He's this instant offense. Like, I think he kind of relishes those types of challenges. Again, Dean with 19 points here. So the foul here is called against Cienega's Isaac Sadabnev, who can't believe it.
One ref, I think the reason he's so confused is because the ref was going to give the ball to the Cats closest to the under the rim, and this ref called a foul. So it was really confusing right there. Isaac believed they had the ball. This ref called a foul.
Well, Cienega is going to bring a fresh body onto the floor. The senior, number 15, Eric Bejarano. 6'1", 185. He does so many things so well. I'd say he's one of those kind of glue players that you need out on the floor. Selfless. He'll grab rebounds. He can score in transition. He's got a nice shooting touch, plays good defense. Yeah, he's a really nice piece to bring off of the bench. It's a nice luxury for Apodaca to have for Cienega.
Yeah, ever since freshman year, I've really just known Eric as like a great shooter. But he's just developed into so much more. He's polished in like every area now. He's been working in the gym for sure.
So this must be a technical foul. So stroking the first one from the stripe is Adrian Perez. He's got 5 points.
Who was the technical one?
I didn't see. Well, I'm guessing, well, I take that back. I'm guessing it's on Sadabnev, right? So I'm going to put a T for him, which counts as a personal foul. So he's got 2. And we still don't know exactly what it was for, right? So we know it was a technical foul, but we don't know exactly why. It's kind of like a game of Clue. It's Colonel Mustard in the laboratory with the candlestick, but we don't know why he committed the crime. So 28-22, Cholla on top, 2:03 on the clock. Cats down by 6, right? You can't lose this in the shuffle. And this is all, again, without Cholla's big Cameron Walker, who's got 3 fouls on the bench.
Yeah. Great defense by Connor.
Yeah, great defense. Just off on that one by Dean.
You can see the Cholla's running a 2-3 defense. They're trying to get to the middle and break that.
Kamak off. A nice rebound here by Tippett.
Oh.
And they're going to call Tippett, I think, here on the foul. It's going to be Tippett or Proctor. Okay, so the foul is against Cholla, and that's against Darian Lopez, number 23. That's his first.
There's been so many fouls in this first half.
A ton of fouls.
It's crazy. That just shows you how like physical and how competitive both teams are. They both want to win so bad. They'll just do anything. They're playing so aggressive. Yeah,
the defense has been off the charts from both squads. So Gabe Proctor strokes the first. That's his first point of the night. Proctor's averaging 10.5 points. He leads Cienega in assists with 3. Again, I consider him to be a point forward. Gets a nice shooter's roll on the second one, and he draws the deficit to 4 points. 28-24, Cholla, 1:37 on the clock, second quarter.
Yeah, Gabe Proctor kind of reminds me of Draymond Green, just being undersized for position, being a great defender, great passer, being able to run the offense if you need him to.
I'm a big Draymond fan. I just love his energy that he brings out there on the floor for those Golden State Warriors. And Connor Bailey here is going to pick up another foul, so he's got 3. So let me just give you a quick update on foul trouble. Cienega's Connor Bailey has 3. Cholla's Cameron Walker has 3. And there are a couple of players from both squads who have 2 fouls. And you're right, a plethora of fouls called tonight in this game in the first half to this point.
Very many.
Adrian Perez shooting 2. He's 77% from the line. I think he's perfect 5 for 5 from the line tonight. And he's got 7 points. And he strokes the second one, and the lead is back up to 6, 30-24.
Yeah, I mean, there's been so many fouls, they can't even update the foul counter on the scoreboard anymore because they've hit the max.
Right, if it was a pinball machine, they would have flipped the score. It's broken. Bejarano, so smooth, right? That's a good take by him, and they're calling him for an offensive foul. A nice job to draw that charge by Darian Lopez. So Bejarano, his first, and it will be Lopez shooting 2 from the line.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the second half to see how energized Cameron Walker is, because I haven't seen him play since early in the first quarter, ever since he picked up those quick 3 fouls.
And then it's like, do you start him to open the third quarter, or do you wait and kind of bring him in maybe midway in the third quarter?
I mean, this team's playing so well without him. You know, you don't want to like bring him in and maybe mess up the chemistry, mess up the flow of the game a little bit.
Yeah, on cue, Ciaran Williams stroking the jumper from about the free throw line, and Cholla, their biggest lead at 8 points now. 35 seconds on the clock. Tippett just asking for it. Nice dish there to Proctor. Draws contact, no call, but he gets the basket. Proctor's got 4 points, 6-point deficit.
Proctor asked him for a little bit there. He was talking to the ref a little bit for a foul, thinking he got hit a little bit.
Oh boy, there's Tippett. That's going to be 3 against him now. He's in big trouble. So Tippett's got 3. It's so costly here, right? You just got 20 seconds to go until halftime. Having that 3 by your name with the foul ledger is a big difference than 2.
Yeah. I mean, this entire Cat starting 5 is starting to rack up the fouls a little bit here, and it's getting a little scary because they're going to need all of those players if they want to win this game.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And that one rims in and out. So Dean not having his typical night from the free throw line. Again, I give some credit to the student section from Cienega, which is very vocal this evening.
Yeah, very, very loud.
Trying to get into the heads of the Chargers at the line. Dean strokes the second one, coolly as could be.
I looked at the stat sheet. I saw that he was a big-time scorer, and I mean, he has not let me down at all. He's been getting buckets all night.
No, as advertised, big-time player, no doubt about it. 5 seconds here. The dish is too late. Oh. It almost rimmed in. And great hustle there by Nick Johnson, but the clock expires, and we'll go to the locker room at halftime. The Chargers of Cholla High School, a 7-point lead, 33-26 going into the locker room. Super physical game. We knew it would be another battle here tonight. I'm surprised at the score. I thought that Cienega's depth would be the difference tonight. It has not been. Cholla has been just really hot shooting. This is a 60% shooting team from the field, 54% as a team from three-point line, and 75% from the line. So fundamentally, just a great shooting team, and their shooters have been hot in the first half tonight.
Especially Masai Dean. I don't know how many points he has, but
got to tally it up.
Yeah, he's had a great game so far, and he's not missing very much either.
I've got him with 18 points right now, so 18 points in the first half.
That's crazy right there. That's crazy to have one player have 18 points. We're definitely going to look to maybe make some defensive adjustments just for Masai Dean and kind of make other players make shots, like force other players to shoot the ball.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, he's a very slippery guard to try to cover and defend against. He can create his own shot. He's also a deft passer. He's fearless. He'll take the ball strong to the rack. Doesn't matter if you've got some trees down there trying to defend the rim. He is a fearless, just a legit, flat-out ball player, and he has been as advertised tonight. So he's got 18 points. Ciaran Williams has 3. Anthony Rascon has 2. Adrian Perez has 8, 6 of them from the free throw line. Cameron Walker with 2 points and 3 fouls. And then from Cienega, you have Moses Behige with a single point. Ben Kamak has 5. Isaac Sadovnev has 2. Connor Bailey just a 3-pointer. Gabe Proctor with 4. Mason Tippett with 9 points in the first half. So, and again, we talked about the foul trouble, so let me just hit that again. Ciaran Williams has a pair of fouls for Cholla. Masai Dean has a pair of fouls. Anthony Rascon, a pair of fouls. Adrian Perez has 1. Darian Lopez 1. Cameron Walker with 3. For Cienega, Behige Moses has 2. Isaac Sadovnev has 2. Connor Bailey has 3. Bejarano has 1. Gabe Proctor 2. Mason Tippett 3.
Wow.
So the Cats are going to have to be resilient here tonight. And I think it's a good test for them because this is what they're going to be. This is the type of intensity that they will face whether they make it in the open bracket, which is 4A, 5A, 6A. Right now the Cats are seeded 33rd. And whether certainly they'll make it the 5A tournament. And they'll be maybe an 11 seed, I think, is where they're bracketed at right now. So also up for grabs. And maybe we've got some Colts from Buena High School. What a great team that is. Tyler Molesworth is a fantastic coach in year 3 for Buena. Greg Deuce, the athletic director. the new athletic director, his name is escaping me, who is awesome as well from Buena. Boy, we had such great hospitality last Thursday night. It's just wonderful to see, quite honestly, because most places that we go, we're not very warmly received. But Buena High School just kind of rolls out the red carpet. And I'm talking about the ticket taker at the gate, the custodians post-game, the fans and parents that I talked to pre- and post-game. Their players were very gracious in victory as well. And just dynamite players, right? So Ajan Sieg and AJ Forrest and DeAndre Hawthorne, thank you. That trio was just unbelievable. And they had some players off the bench that were pretty colorful characters too, 14 and 13. I can't remember their names.
I know Hunter Haymore, a big player off the bench. The student section, the crowd loves him.
He was.
He was.
So that's a great squad. So we've got 6 minutes here left in halftime. Why don't we take a break?
Okay.
We'll be back in 6 minutes here for the second half of this game. Take a break and rejoin us in 6 right here on Bobcat TV. All right, set for the second half of action. Jason Miller along with Robert Ortiz, one of our great seniors from Bobcat TV. And the Cats here down 7 points will open with possession.
That's crazy. During halftime, I was going to go get a drink of water. I came back and saw one of my favorite coach of all time that used to coach me in Sierra Vista. Apparently, he coaches Cholla as assistant coach for the team.
Oh, what is that coach's name?
Coach Pierre.
Coach Pierre?
Yes, sir.
Very good. He's a gentleman down there with the glasses next to Coach Dean?
No, sir. I don't know where he is. He's not down there at night. Oh, he's over there filling up the water. You can see him by the power.
Okay. Coach Pierre.
Coach Pierre. My
Your favorite coach of all time.
Yeah, I remember when I was little, he like recruited me to come play with him because he loved my game. And I went to play with him, and we did great. It was great. He's fun. He's serious when he needs to be, but he's a great coach.
Robert, you are like just so connected in the basketball realm here in Southern Arizona. But I'd love to see you play. We may have to go out there and play some pickups sometime with Bobcat TV. Just run circles around all of us. Nice reverse layup there by Moses Behige. So he's got 3 points now. Deficit's 5 points.
Oh, the side beanie. Crazy. Nice little one dribble pull up there.
So Dean with 20 now. There's a tie-up. And on the arrow, it'll be Cholla Charger ball. Yeah. Some nice fresh kicks out here. I don't know if it looks like Moses Behige and Connor Bailey have the same shoes.
Those are some nice shoes. I like those shoes.
I don't remember seeing those last week.
I don't know if I remember seeing them last week either, but they're some nice shoes. I like brighter shoes when I'm playing basketball. I like to stand out a little bit.
I like it too. It's easy to identify players on the floor. You just look at their feet.
Yeah. Also, while I was down there getting a drink of water, there's a lot of kids from other different schools excited to see this game. I didn't know it was that kind of game.
Yeah, it's a big one. Oh, there's a nice rejection, but a good follow-through by Gabe Proctor. So it was Cameron Walker who's back on the floor. Proctor with a bucket. He's got 6 points. The Cats are down 5.
He's only been on the floor for a couple of minutes, and we'll already see another block. That's just how great of a rim protector he really is.
Oh, big time. Oh, trying to tip that one. Nice rebound there by Tippett, who can also fly to the rafters. Out to Bailey. Nice little hesitation. Kamak, floater, just off. Nice tip out by Tippett. And Cholla here trying to run, but they don't have numbers. So wisely pulled out by Adrian Perez. And Masai Dean now surveys the floor and takes an out.
I'm excited to see how this plays out with so many players in foul trouble. I want to see how the intensity, if it changes, if it gets a little less, just to kind of keep them out of foul trouble. But it'll be fun to watch.
Corner 3 too strong. Some contact there, a little inadvertence. And now Tippett here is slowing it down. Proctor in the low post. Nifty footwork as well. Again, that shot was altered by Cameron Walker, who is an intimidating presence down there in the paint for Cholla.
Yeah, he's a great rim defender.
Big time.
Also love his shoes, by the way.
Yeah, I do like his shoes as well. Fresh Nike kicks. 3 is off there by Dean. Bailey on the rebounds. Tippett's open. Nice little pass. Hesitation. He's too far under the basket. And he draws the tackiest of fouls there.
Yeah, I don't know so much about that one. Looked like his hands were straight up there, but
I hate to see that. So that's foul 4 on Cameron Walker. I want to see more of Cameron Walker. Like, I don't want to see less of him, and I really don't know how much contact there was on that one. So very unfortunate for Cholla. And Walker's got 4 fouls now.
Yeah, and you got to think they're going to game plan if he stays in the game or if he comes back later, that they're going to game plan to kind of go at him, force him to play some defense and maybe foul.
Correct. Those little head and shoulder fakes, those little pump fakes to try to get him elevated.
Yeah.
And he can try to draw some contact. He's very frustrated, I think justifiably so. And he takes a seat there dejectedly on the bench as you see him just kind of looking up into space.
Yeah, this Cholla defense is not the same when Cameron Walker's on the bench. He just provides such a boost. Especially for those bigger players like Gabe Proctor and Mason Tippett.
But the other thing is that Cholla extended their lead with Cameron Walker on the bench in the first half.
That's just how great of a team they are, really. They're able to adapt to any situation. Like, they weren't planning for him to get this many fouls, but they just adapted on the fly and just ran with it.
And I think a great shooting team, right? As you see Masai Dean, the greatest of their shooters, who's got 22 points now to lead all scorers on the floor. Cholla a 6-point lead at 37-31. but as a team, just really efficient shooting the ball. Behige there, great effort. Able to draw a foul against Cholla's Anthony Rascon. Rascon now has 3 fouls. And their coach, Masai Dean, is as cool as they could be on the sideline there. So he's kind of stalking. He's pretty quiet. He's totally dialed in and focused. And he has this team really clicking together and gelled as one unit. Yeah. But he's a little exasperated as well as Moses hits that free throw. Yeah,
when I was down there talking to my old coach, he was actually telling me about how great of a coach Masai Dean is.
Yes.
How Masai Dean he knew him, so they kind of talked and kind of persuaded my coach to come over here and coach with them. That's just like the type of coach he is. You know, he's going out there, he's finding the best coaches he can find and to help this team win.
I think that's what it's all about. So Moses strokes both. So Masai Dean, the coach, is in his 12th year at Cholla, a winning percentage of .687, which is superlative. 204 wins, 93 losses. Every year he has this team just operating like a machine. A terrific coach. One of the best coaches in the state of Arizona.
Yeah, and his son, I'm guessing Masai Dean is his son, correct?
Yes, sir.
I mean, his son, you know, kind of reflective of how great of a coach he is by how great of a player his son is.
Correct. And you know, I've watched interviews with Coach Masai Dean and his son Masai Dean, Andy Morales, and he's like, you know, my dad is hard on me, but it helps me to improve as a player.
Yeah.
Here's Dean now, a little Euro step, left hand, so smooth.
I'm a little questioned by Mason Tippett's choice to try to take the charge there when he's a lot bigger. He could have probably gotten a block shot there if he went and attempted it.
Maybe, but difficult in transition. Nice pass there to Proctor down low. Nice feed by Tippett to Proctor. Proctor has 8 points. 4 in the first half and 4 here in the second half. 3 minutes on the clock in the third quarter. Cholla up by 4 points. Nice pass there. Good challenge by Proctor and Tippett. Kamat trying to scrap that ball. Great straight up there defense by Tippett.
Adrian Perez getting really physical down there, dropping his shoulder, kind of just running straight through the hearts of a...
Nice pass. Nice reverse. Just off. Good rebound by Tippett. Very active on the glass. He's playing a superlative game tonight here is Tippett. So active offensively, defensively, just rebounding.
You can see the difference in the defenses. Bobcats are running more of a man defense, and the Choyas are running a little bit more of a 2-3 defense, trying to stop points in the paint.
Tippett with 12 points. He's calling for a sub. He's gassed. So here's Eric Bejarano springing off the bench, ready to sub in and check in for Mason Tippett. The shooter's roll almost. Masai Dean was at about half court there as that ball just lingered on the rim. And the Cats now just down by 2. It's been a good charge here. A surge to open the third quarter from Cienega. The foul is on Adrian Perez. That's a second foul. That's team foul number 3 against Cholla. Eric Bejarano, the senior, 15, checks on the floor for the Bobcats. Subbing on for Cholla is number 23, Darian Lopez. He's a senior. Wide body. He looks to be about 6'3", maybe 6'2" there, matched up against Gabe Proctor.
That's a good matchup.
Nice take, Bejarano, and they're calling a block here. Got to be careful. A lot of bodies falling. It was all accidental.
That's almost the same play that happened in the first half where they called a charge there on Eric Bejarano. But
right, that one could have gone either way. So I like the idea. So, again, you're seeing a very disciplined 2 squads here, both well coached. Jason Apodaca with Cienega in year 1. Cholla with Masai Dean in year 12. And going to the line to shoot 2 is Eric Bejarano. 87% from the line. His first point of the night.
I mean, Coach Apodaca, he's in his first year, having a great year.
Yes.
I mean, he's probably been the coach here for many, many years. We may have found like one of our better coaches in Cienega history, honestly.
Yeah, I think so.
It seems the players want to play for him. They seem to love him. Everything I hear about him is really positive, and how
his personality, he's just an authentic guy. He's very likable. He's very honest, very transparent, very fair. Oh, nice cut there. A little bit too strong there by Dean. Rebounded by Kamak. Cats running here with Bailey. You got Moses on the wing who's looking for it. They can switch the ball around. Kamak for 3. Shooter's roll for Kamak! Kamak with 8. Cats claim the lead now, 42-39. And a timeout called by Cholla's Masai Dean.
Place is getting loud in here. They're getting a little rocking.
Starting to rock a little bit now on a Friday night.
It seems the student section filled up a little bit more in the second half. I don't know. It just doesn't look like there's any open space over there.
Oh, yeah. The student section is completely full. You also have the pep band under the direction of Grant Knox. Not here tonight. Not sure who that drum major is. But the pep band adds a lot to it. You've got the cheerleaders out here tonight as well, adding to the element into the mix. And then you talked about it. This is a marquee matchup on a Friday night. So the casual basketball enthusiast, the aficionado, might come out here from Tucson or Vail or Tucson High. Any teams that aren't playing tonight, they're like, hey, let's watch a great game tonight. Cholla and Cienega, we've had that.
Yeah, probably just coming out here, trying to start off the weekend by watching just a great basketball game, Not much better to do than just watch some great basketball on a Friday and enjoy the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, as a Bobcat TV guy, I love Friday night games. Mr. Irvin and I were on the same page. It's like, hey, we can sleep in Saturday morning. It's a good plan. Yeah. So let's give it out to our crew here tonight. We have Brianna Cueto, who's running the camera up top. Nick Irvin is the director of Bobcat TV, the man with the plan. We have Zeta Neo down on the floor running camera. We have Karan Watson, who is a star football player, first team all-region wide receiver and safety, who's got his little brother in his left hand, a camera in his right hand, and he's giving us video feed tonight as well. Robert Ortiz on color, Jason Miller play-by-play. That's our crew from Bobcat TV. Thanks for tuning in. Three-pointer, rims in and out, tipped out there by Bailey, and it's Cienega basketball.
Cienega's really rolling here right now. I mean, they took the lead, and at halftime, I don't know how much they were down by, but I know they were down by at least like 6-8 points.
Yeah, I think it was 8, maybe 9 at the biggest margin.
I mean, they've really just made that up, and it seems easy for them out there. It seems like they're just getting open shots or getting some easy shots out there.
I bet it was a very spirited conversation at halftime as Bejarano strokes the three. Eric Bejarano, 5 points, all in the second half, giving this team a big lift.
This whole Cats team is looking like they're on fire right now. Troy's going to have to do something to stop this offense from the Cats.
You can feel the momentum shift here. And Cienega, every player here is max effort as you see Proctor here clapping defensively.
Yeah.
Oh, nice little crossover dribble. Oh, nice with the right hand. Great job to draw the foul by Adrian Perez. And it will be against Gabe Proctor. So for Proctor, that's foul number 3. He has 3 fouls. Mason Tippett has 3 fouls for Cienega. Connor Bailey has 3 fouls. For Cholla, Cameron Walker has 4 fouls. Anthony Rascon has 3. And there are 3 players who have a pair of fouls.
Yeah, it's funny because Gabe Proctor, he's a great defender. He's very quick laterally for being a forward. And I remember I tried to challenge him to a 1v1, thinking I could beat him maybe a little bit with a little bit of speed. And no, it was bad. It was bad. I couldn't do it. I couldn't score on him.
He's very clever, right? He's, I mean this in the best possible way. He's a bit of a wide body, but he's in great physical shape, obviously. But he's very nimble out there, and he's very fluid, handling the basketball, and great at passing. And you talked about his footwork in the low post. It's off the charts.
Yeah, I mean, his wide frame definitely helps him, because he's a little undersized, but he's able to box out. He's able to get positioning down low. He's able to do all that because, his size.
24 seconds. The Bobcats most likely, I thought they were going to stall and try to run the clock out here. Maybe a ill-advised attempt there by Bahige. And now it's Dean in transition, a block by Proctor. Here's Moses with a layup.
You can see right there, Gabe Proctor staring down the side Dean after the block. There's a little bit of tension rising in the building.
Big sequence. That was good if it goes off the top of the scoreboard. And the Bobcats here with a huge third quarter, claim the lead, now leading by 6.
Yeah, and I was really thinking Moses Bahige was going to dunk it, but it just looks like he couldn't get enough of a run-up to try to get up there.
Right, just get that quick layup, right? But that transition, if you think about that sequence defensively, the swat rejection by Proctor, the quick outlet pass down the floor, and a quick layup there by Bahige, a huge swing of momentum, and the Bobcats now a 6-point lead, their biggest of the night.
Yeah, they're going to have to keep this going, though, because you already know that Coach Masai Dean is going to have some adjustments made, and they're going to put the pressure on in this fourth quarter and make sure and test the Bobcats really hard.
Right, and then you have the X factor, Cameron Walker, on the bench, and it's like you've got to try to conserve him with 4 fouls and try to figure out when you bring him out onto the floor. And he's an elite rim protector and also somebody who can get some putbacks on the offensive glass. This is a very imposing figure is number 24 at 6'4". And I'm guessing probably 200 pounds flat.
Yeah. I mean, you really don't want to end the game and have Cameron Walker still sitting on the bench with 4 fouls. If you want him to sit down, you're going to have to give him the foul out because he's going to need to be in this game if they want to win.
Well, here he is. So Cameron Walker emerges from the bench.
And, you know, Coach probably had to have had a talk with him to play a little bit more passive, not just go straight up, not go for all the blocks.
You know, it's weird to say, but sometimes you just kind of let a kid maybe go by you, and you've got to depend on your defensive mates there to try to pick up the slack.
Yeah, but even if he's not, being as aggressive, he's still just such a big factor in the paint.
Kamak fade away off. Tippett, good hustle. Great job to corral the rebounds. Close to the sideline in front of the student section. Back to Kamak. Kamak calls for the screen. Surprised he didn't pull the trigger on that one. Takes it strong to the rack. He's fouled in the act of shooting. The foul will be against Adrian Perez, his 3rd personal foul.
Mac trying to take this game into his own hands, trying to finish the job a little bit by doing some scoring.
Yeah, I want to see a little bit more Kamak, honestly. He's a very selfless player as well, so looking to pass kind of first, but I want to see him take some more shots here, especially down the stretch. He's a big component for this offense for the Bobcats, and as a pure shooter, if he can find his rhythm, that's a huge boost for the Cats.
Did Bobcat TV end up covering that game last year where Kamak had that monster night where he broke the 3-point record and the scoring?
Alas, we did not. So talking about that earlier with Paul Mott, whose son Carson was the previous record holder with 8 3-pointers. Ben Kamak broke the record with 9 threes. I mean, just shooting outside of his mind that night. Absolutely on fire from start to finish.
That was an insane game. I remember I didn't go to that game, but I heard stories, and it was just like he could not miss.
Right, it was a big story. I think they did a story in the Arizona Daily Star. I think there was a story like on KVOA Channel 4.
Yeah.
So foul here. I think this one is Connor Bailey. So Bailey's got 4. Bailey here is imploring Apodaca, I'm good. Leave me out, coach.
Yeah, and that takes a lot of trust between the players and the coach.
There's that mutual trust between coach and players. Yeah. You can see it out there. And nice free throw by Walker.
That's how you know that the team is really connected. If the coach is really trusting his player not to foul and not to, he's taking his word for it.
As our guy Jack Ferguson III would say, Bobcat TV alum, great wrestler, student council leader, student. I would just say elite in everything. You have that synergy between the coach and the players on the team. Kamak! Little running hook there in the lane. Very smoothly done. He's got 10 points, 6 here in the second half. Cats lead back up to 7. 7 minutes on the clock, 4th quarter. Side Dean just off on the 3. Great rebound there by Cameron Walker. Another 3-pointer. This one's too strong. Walker again a rebound. Masai Dean for 3. Back of the rim.
Wow.
Great hustle from both squads. Dean again. Out to the wing. Wide open 3. Wow. That one's off. Another rebound by the Chargers. Great little layup there by Cholla's Fabian Escobedo, his first basket of the night.
This Cholla team really wants to win. They're active on the glass right now. Very active.
Pure grit and determination there to grab rebounds. And now a momentum shift as Cholla is feeling it. And what a presence Cameron Walker is, rebounding and playing defense.
It seemed like Mason Tibbett was grabbing every rebound, but now
Dean splashing for 3.
It seemed like Mason Tibbett was grabbing every rebound, but now Cameron Walker in the game, it's just a completely different story. He's up there, he's competing with him.
Completely different. Masai Dean now with 27 points. He's going off tonight, and the deficit is 2 points. The Cats clinging to a 2-point lead. Proctor too strong, his own rebound puts it up. Great challenge there by Walker. Now Tippett goes up. That should not be a foul. That shouldn't be a foul against Walker.
It's looking like Walker went straight up there.
Straight up, man. Come on. Masai Dean, the coach, is exasperated. I'm disappointed. And you're trying to protect your player here who, textbook, had his hands straight up. Wasn't moving. Didn't initiate contact at all. That's not a foul. I'm sorry. I just hate to see that kind of a call, which is such a huge impact on the game here.
Is that his 5th? Is he?
Yeah, he's out. He's got your biggest player on the floor, who we saw making such an impact in his limited minutes here, offensively, defensively, and rebounding. And Masai Dean, justifiably, you can't believe it.
Yeah.
And again, a cool character here. So for him, he's like, I'm going to take off my jacket.
Yeah.
And that tells me that he's vexed. As Tippett strokes the free throw.
You don't want to see that. I mean, you want to see the best players compete against the best players at the end of a close game.
Absolutely right.
And I mean, a call like that, I just don't agree with.
It's a bad call. So we've got 13 points now, 14 for Tippett. who takes advantage. And you've got Jason Apodaca who calls a timeout to kind of get his players on the same page.
Yeah.
But I hate to see it, and I don't want to belabor the point, but to me that's textbook defense.
Yeah.
When you go and watch the replay on the stream, when you go home tonight, I think you'll see that you have Cameron Walker straight up, arms straight up, body straight up, under the basket, did not initiate contact, and somehow, inexplicably, a foul called against him, and he's out of the game.
Yeah, you can see he definitely knew he was in foul trouble. He knew what he needed to do, and he just needed to play just straight hands-up defense. And it seems it didn't stop the refs from calling that one.
I just hate it, man. I mean, there's a great player. I have a ton of respect for that kid. I love his game. It's my kind of player. You know, as a young player in my youth, it was like Patrick Ewing was my guy. Charles Oakley was my guy. Dennis Rodman was my guy. Those guys who bang down low, who can leap to the rafters, who do all the hard work down in the paint. I mean, that's a player that I want to see more of. Very talented. I would say he's a star player out there as well. We knew Masai Dean coming in was the big-time scorer, and as advertised, he's got 27 points. Like, that kid's unbelievable as well.
Yeah.
So Cholla has to regroup. Remember, in the first half, without Cameron Walker, Cholla extended their lead to 9, the biggest lead that they had tonight. So they have that magic in them. They have to galvanize together, make some shots, and play some great defense here down the stretch. We expect this one to go all the way down to the wire tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's been exciting so far, you know. Offense has definitely picked up in the second half here. They're getting a lot of buckets, and I'm excited to see how this game ends here.
Dean, little hesitation. Oh, so nasty of a fake, the little head and shoulder fake.
You can just stop on a dime after going from full speed. It's crazy.
He's got 29 points.
Oh.
Nice move there by Tippett, who did get hammered on that one. That was clearly a foul.
Yeah.
I think it's on 10, but we'll see who draws it here. Sorry, so that's 2. So Masai Dean, it's his 3rd foul.
Yeah, he couldn't do much there. I mean,
Right.
he just had to try to get his hand in there and do something.
And I think it's a good idea because you've got Tippett, right, who, if there's one deficiency in his game, it might be his free throw shooting at 62%.
Yeah.
Gets a nice roll on that one.
He'll take that all day.
A reverse jinx from me. I'll take it. So 15 points tonight for Tippett. Again, as active as you could hope for, as usual. Offensively, defensively, rebounding, and contributing with the scoring. Off on the second one. Great rebound here by Moses.
Ooh.
And Tippett skying up to grab that one. Nifty post move here. Thought he was going to try to pass that one to Proctor down in the low box.
Someone I haven't seen a lot of tonight, Moses Behiga. He's been playing a lot more pass first.
Nice passing. Nice pass!
Oh.
Boy, that's great ball movement. So from Bailey to Proctor to Tippett, and Tippett gets fouled in the act of shooting. That extra pass is so nice to see.
Yeah, and I mean, Moses Behiga, you know, he hasn't been scoring a lot tonight, but he's been doing a lot of stuff you won't see on the stat sheet, like that play we just saw where he saved the ball from going out of bounds, giving the Cats another chance, which put Tippett at the free throw line.
So Ciaran Williams picked up the foul. Tippett goes to the line. We have 8 fouls against Cholla here in the second half. Just 2 fouls against Cienega in the second half. So a clear discrepancy. And again, the most egregious of them was the 5th foul called against Cameron Walker, which was not a foul. Active Moses.
Wow.
Yes! Moses. 9 points for Moses Behiga. Great defense there by Kamak. Good pass there out to the wing. Masai Dean slowing it down a little bit. From 3. Just short on that one. Nice rebound by Anthony Rascon. And here's Ben Kamak with a steal. Oh, he stepped on the out of bounds, the sideline there, out of bounds. So Kamak can't believe it. Jason Apodaca gives double thumbs down. Got to be careful. You don't want to get a second technical foul and get ejected from the game.
Crowd does not like that one. I wish I had a better
But I like
angle on it.
Apodaca's visual here. I'm going to give you a double thumbs down.
Yeah.
Just so you know exactly how I feel.
Wish I could have had a better angle on that. I don't know. I couldn't really see.
Yeah, we can't tell from here. We're all the way across the floor. Masai Dean in traffic, and it's going to be a blocking foul against Moses Behiga. That's 3 on Moses.
Looked like he took maybe a step more than he could have right there. I don't know. It looked like a little bit of a travel, maybe just like a gather step.
But I think from the ref's perspective, it was like, well, that contact, right, is what probably forced him off of his dribble. But I know what you're saying. So again, Dean from the stripe, 82%.
Yeah.
And he didn't have luck on the basket on our left, but he's having a better job here on the right basket.
Yeah.
So, and a big-time scorer now with, I think, 28 points. Yeah, 28.
Wow.
29 points. Masai Dean, what a player. 52 for Cholla, 55 for Cienega. 4:10 on the clock in the fourth quarter.
Oh.
Ben Kamak, right-handed smooth. Real smooth, a Kamak attack. 11 for Ben, Big Ben.
Ben Kamak, you know, not super known for his defense, but he's not playing too terrible on Masai Dean like this. He's playing as good as you can, really, on a player like Masai Dean. I mean, you're not going to completely stop him from scoring. The only thing you can do is really kind of slow him down as best as you can.
I think his defense is great. Like, I don't put him at the same level as Connor Bailey, who for me is the lockdown shutdown. Moses Behige, I would say, is like 1A defense. And I like Isaac Sadobnev's defense as well.
Yep.
So going to the line here is Ciaran Williams, a 67% free throw shooter. Of course, those percentages sometimes go out the window down the stretch of these close games. So much pressure out there on the line.
I just realized I subbed in Eric Bejarano for Moses Behige right now.
Right, Moses has 4 personal fouls. That's why Moses went to the bench.
Yeah.
And there's got to be some, you know, foul management here. So for Cienega, again, you've got Mason Tippett, who had 3 fouls all in the first half, who's done such a wonderful job of staying out of trouble here in the second half.
Yes, he has. Coach probably, you know, you have to think that he had to talk with him, and, you know, he's Tippett a smart player, so of course he's not going to put himself in trouble, like more trouble than he already is.
Proctor, catch, spin, and shoot so softly. 15 points. Or sorry, that's my bad. 12 points for Gabe Proctor. 6-point lead for the Cats.
Ooh.
Stutter step hesitation. It's going to be reach and foul here against Ben Kamak. Kamak just won. It's his first personal.
Kamak doing a good job with everyone else fouling low, but he's kind of keeping his hands to himself, playing really good stand-up defense.
His first foul, 15-foul.
So 3:30 on the clock, which is plenty of time. The Bobcats a 6-point lead, 59-53. The Bobcats are in the 1-and-1 bonus. There are 5 team fouls against Cienega. Oh, nice little head and shoulder fake there, so quick. Masai Dean, the pull-up jumper, yes!
Wow.
Masai Dean, 29 points.
I don't know what else you do. That's perfect defense, but it's he's such a great scorer. You can't stop that.
Great defense by Kamak. You really can't do anything against it. Ooh. Bailey there goes hard down to the floor onto his hip. He pops right back up.
It's like he didn't feel it. Just the adrenaline rushing through him. He just gets right back up. That looked like a
And I think
hard
it
fall.
sends a message to everybody in the gymnasium. Yeah, I took a hard spill, but I'm right back up.
Yeah, I mean, he just so much energy. You know, he really brings energy to this team.
Let's see who the fouls against here from Cholla.
Foul charged on Williams, his 4th foul.
Ciaran Williams has 4 fouls now.
Ooh.
And we've got, you know, several players with 4 fouls. Moses Behige from Cienega, the most prominent cat in trouble. Connor Bailey with 4 as well. Mason Tippett with 3. Gabe Proctor with 3. And then we know that Cameron Walker fouled out. Adrian Perez, 3 fouls. Anthony Rascon with 3. And Ciaran Williams with 4.
Something happening here with Gabe Proctor and the refs. Looking like
I'm sure it's a cut. I'm sure he's cut.
Oh.
So you've got Joe Urquijo, who is attending here. She's got the hydrogen peroxide. And I think it's maybe blood on the jersey.
They're pointing out a really small spot on Connor Bailey's shorts.
I think it's blood.
And yeah, I think that might be what it is.
You know, if this is a boxing match, you go to the ring between rounds. You've got the cut man doing their work with the Vaseline and that cold compress to try to smooth out any mice underneath the eyes of the boxers.
Yeah.
So good job there by Joe Islas to attend to those wounds very quickly, clean them up with a little hydrogen peroxide. We've got some sanitary practices going on, and now the player's back on the floor. So a brief respite here, and now Connor Bailey at the stripe will take his free throws. 78% from the line is Connor Bailey.
Yeah, it was almost like a mini timeout right there. kind of getting to talk to your players, get a little bit of.
It was.
Talk to them a little bit.
Almost like, too, I'll go NASCAR here. You got a pit crew there. Very quickly, you pull that car into the pits, and you got a quick 4-tire rotation change. Somebody's on the squeegee with the windshield, and that racer's getting back out there before the pace car.
Yeah, I mean, you can't imagine players are too mad that they get a little bit more extra rest between plays.
So 5-point lead now for the Cats. 3 minutes on the clock exactly. Masai Dean with the basketball in his hands. So smooth. Short on that one. Rebounded by Kamak.
They're really just trying to run the offense from Masai Dean, giving him the ball, trusting him to kind of bring them back in this game. It's
Again,
not a bad plan.
A player who was on the varsity from freshman year as a pure shooter. Sophomore year, more ball handling responsibilities. And just a superb player. Now running a break here, trying to look for a pass, I thought. The Cats here back defensively. Now he's in a trap. And why not call timeout? Cats in transition. Proctor back to Bailey. No dice. Dean now with the basketball. Cholla trying to press the issue.
Looks like Masai Dean likes this matchup right here on Gabe Proctor, thinking he can maybe get past him.
I think he can take him off the dribble, absolutely, and pull that 3. Splash. Yes, sir. 32 points for Masai Dean, a big-time player. And it's a 2-point lead for Cienega. And you see Dean here heckling the crowd and trying to energize and engage them, saying, "Where you at now?"
Yeah, he can do all that. He can do the talking because he walks the walk.
Oh, yeah, big-time players. They love to silence the crowds.
Oh, and I think they're going to call a foul there on Masai Dean. He's holding his hands on the back of his head. Can't believe it. Is that on him?
I think this was on 10, so that's Anthony Rascon. Rascon's got 4 fouls now. And we needed a count out here to just kind of keep track of all the fouls of the players who are out on the floor. There have been a slew of them. Mason Tippett at the line. He's been there often tonight.
Look at this student section is really trying to get into Masai Dean's head. I mean, that's really what you got to do if you want to maybe slow him down. Got to get in his head a little bit.
16 points for Tippett, and I'm guessing double-digit rebounds for sure.
Yeah.
Doesn't get the second one. Good hustle by Bejarano.
Wow.
What a play! That's a big-time hustle play. You need those kind of plays from your players. And Bejarano, again, does all these little things, all the intangibles that you want, the hustle plays. That's a huge play.
He's getting, more minutes than usual because of foul trouble. And I mean, he's really showing that he can compete. Even coming off the bench, he can go out there and do everything that everyone else can.
He can. He can score. He can take the ball to the rack. He can pass the ball. He can defend. And obviously, you see the hustle plays there. So he checks every box for me as a player.
Yeah.
Just kind of love that kind of play.
Yeah. So.
And I see your source down there, Randy Carrillo. So I asked him this morning. I was like, all right, well, Masai Dean, give me a comp here to Ajan Seek, who's another great player. And he thought that Dean was maybe a little bit more difficult to guard. And again, I mean this as no disrespect. Ajan Seek is unbelievable. You're talking about elite guard play at the highest level in the state of Arizona.
Yeah.
I'll take Ajan Seek on my team. I'll take Masai Dean on my team. Of course, Cienega, I'll take all those Cats on my squad every day of the week. So just seeing some really high-level play here, some fierce competition coming down the stretch. Which team can remain composed down the stretch these last minute and 43 seconds of this game?
Now, it's kind of off topic, but I've been to a lot of Cienega games this year. I did not realize that we had a mascot come to the games.
Yes, I spied the mascot earlier, and then I also spy a photographer down there who I thought was the mascot. So he's got his head on backwards. I want to go a little bit The Exorcist here. If you ever watched that classic horror film. Nice pass to Bejarano. Oh, good take. So good hesitation there. The foul will be against Darian Lopez. That's his 3rd. But a great feed there from Bailey. A whip pass down to the low box to Bejarano, who will go to the line and shoot 2. And Eric from the stripe is 87%. He has the highest percentage from the line from any Cat there on the floor. So note, do not foul 15 because he's solid down the line.
Maybe not the guy they wanted to foul there. Yeah.
Swish.
Yeah, and you can see it, how fluid, how just natural it looks.
Comfortable.
Yeah.
He's taken that shot, again, probably tens of thousands of times in his life.
Yeah.
Bejarano has a big 6 points, I would say here. Make it 7. Cats 5-point lead, 1:40. Cholla has to push the tempo. You got a pair of 2s matched up against here. And Masai Dean just off on that one. Tipped out, back out to Dean. Adrian Perez, too strong. Rebounded by, and we're going to call officials timeout here, I believe.
Oh, it looks like Sierra Williams is hurt.
He may have, my guess is here, Robert, is that he had a player from Cienega who maybe clashed him with knees, right? So that will happen sometimes, scrapping for those loose balls. So minute 22 on the clock here. I know that Cholla has timeouts at their disposal. So clock management, a big factor here, the last minute and 20 of this game.
And I mean, you can see Cholla's game plan is really just give Masai Dean the ball and kind of run pick and roll because he's such a maestro and he's going to make the right decision every time. And I mean, it's worked pretty much all the game, but Cienega's really locking up on defense right now. But so is Cholla.
A maestro. That is a perfect descriptor for Masai Dean. Kamak with some nifty dribbling. And a travel there on that one. So a little exasperated here by Kamak. So we've got 57 seconds on the clock, which is plenty of time still. 5-second deficit for Cholla. And a timeout called by Masai Dean Sr. So Masai Dean Jr. is the great senior player on the court for Cholla. And Masai Dean just trying to make sure that he draws up the play here. You don't have to get a 3 right off the bat, right? So you just need a combination of 5 points and some defense. So a quick basket could certainly work. Of course, if you drop a 3, that's the best case scenario for Cholla. But there's still plenty of time here.
Yeah, and Cholla and the Bobcats, you could really see the intensity starting to pick up the last couple of minutes. They're really trying to hone in on the defensive end and kind of just put all their efforts in the defensive end. But yeah, the Cats have a little bit of advantage there because they can put a little bit more effort in the defensive end because they don't as much need to score as much as Cholla does.
True. Plus, they have a little bit of a luxury in terms of the foul ledger. So the team fouls against Cienega are just 5. It's 5 and 10, right? So the old dime and nickel and dime store. Cienega has 5 team fouls. Cholla has 10 team fouls. So the Cats have a luxury. They can afford to foul as long as you don't commit an act or a foul in the act of shooting against Cholla. That's the big thing. You don't want to have any 3-point plays or 4-point plays potentially.
Yeah, that could be detrimental for the Cats.
Yeah, absolutely. Adrian Perez inbounds. Here's Masai Dean. Ben Kamak is locked up against Dean. Dean takes it. I think he lost it on his own. Oh, and they're calling a touch here. Gabe Proctor may have gotten his fingers on that one. See Proctor who goes to that clap there.
Yeah, I like when players do that. It gets in the other team's head a little bit. It's
I do too.
It's kind of annoying sometimes.
It is. I like it though. I do like it.
Yeah.
Especially when it's your guy doing it, right? If it's the other team doing it, you're like, oh, it's so annoying.
Ooh.
3, too short. Big rebound there by Mason Tippett. In traffic, and he was fouled in the act, and I think it's going to be a 5th foul here against Anthony Rascon, who will foul out of the game on the reach.
That is a big miss. You're not going to get as many, you're not going to get as good of a shot as that right there. He was wide open for 3. Got to hit that one.
Sorry, that's Fabian Escobedo. So Fabian Escobedo, the senior number 11 on the floor with his first personal foul. Anthony Rascon has 4 fouls. My misidentification there. Tippett at the line. Strokes the first one. It's kind of been his pattern tonight with his free throws. Yeah, he's got 17 points.
He's gone to the free throw line a lot tonight.
9 points from the stripe. He's been there very often. Robert, you're such an astute basketball analyst here. So we're just happy to have you. We think that, we think Cienega, right, they may make the open bracket, more likely to make the 5A bracket. Ooh. A 3 down and then not in. A good shot there, a good look by Dean, but it just came out of the hoop. Almost all the way down, rattling, and it just popped out.
Troy needs to foul or something.
Full court trap here caused all kinds of problems. Apodaca calls timeout. So we haven't seen that full court press really so much from Cholla. You unveil it. I think that was part of the last timeout. So Coach Masai Dean is like, listen, coming out, when they inbound from the baseline, we're going to go into full court trap. We've got to get a turnover and a quick basket. Cats had a difficult time trying to handle that one. I'm sure Apodaca with his team will talk about how to break that trap.
Or the press. Also looked a little bit like Cholla was trying to foul right there, but they couldn't really get to him. They kept moving the ball around. But it also kind of helped them because they were moving the ball backwards, trying to get away from the foulers.
Right. So that's going to be part of it, right? If you try for the steal first, a steal and a quick basket. If you can't get the steal and Cienega's able to inbound it, then you're trying to foul a player very quickly just to stop the clock, right? So clock management is so huge. And then from Cholla's perspective, if they commit the foul, then you're hoping that Cienega doesn't make their free throws. So all these things kind of work together in tandem, and Cholla kind of has to be perfect down the stretch here. They're down 7 points. There's 28 seconds on the clock. There's still time. There's less of it, but there's still time here for the Chargers.
You know the Cats are definitely trying to get the ball to Eric Bejarano, Ben Kamak, those type of free throw shooters.
Absolutely.
I mean, you kind of need a foul right here with 20. With only
nice pass!
Oh,
there it is.
wow.
Ball game. That's a game.
Dagger right there, yeah.
You can't come down from 9 with 17 seconds. There's no Reggie Miller out there on the floor.
Oh.
It's a great game tonight. The foul here is against Cholla's Adrian Perez. He's got 4 fouls. Again, a big moment for me was when Cameron Walker got his 5th foul, which you and I both saw as not a foul. That was a big moment, and you have to wonder if Cameron Walker's out on the floor for more minutes, how that changes the outcome of the game.
Yeah, not even as much as just him personally, but maybe it took the air out of Cholla a little bit, like, oh, we just lost our great rim protector.
That's our big guy. Regardless, it's a big win for Cienega. Ben Kamak here feeling it. A little chest bump there with Andres Chatham, the junior point guard. And the Bobcats are feeling it here. This is a great game tonight. I give much respect to the Chargers of Cholla High School. Their great coach, Masai Dean. They're great players. I mean, this is a team that was very scrappy the entire game. And again, I think some unfortunate refereeing and that big call against Cameron Walker. What a player that he was. So Cameron Walker in his limited minutes out on the floor, he may have played 9 minutes tonight in total.
Yeah.
But he really made an impact out there, rebounding, swatting shots, and getting putbacks. You see Coach Apodaca here talking to Masai Dean. That is great sportsmanship and great mutual respect there. Connor Bailey. I mean, these players have great respect for each other. They know they have a great player here in Masai Dean, and a lot of these players are just giving him props because that kid put those Chargers on his shoulders the entire night.
Yeah, I mean, during the game, of course, they're going to talk trash to Masai Dean. They're going to do all that. But, I mean, at the end of the day, you have to respect what he does. You know,
respect.
You may not have to like him, you know, because he's on the other team, but you have to respect what he does on the floor.
I like him, and I respect him tremendously. And I like that Chargers squad. They are a great program in representing the 5A Southern. So the Chargers will fall to 15-9, and they're still 3-3 in the 5A Southern. For the Bobcats of Cienega, well, it's a bit of a magic number. You get to that 20-win threshold, which they reached tonight. They're now 20-6. They're 5-1 in the 5A Sonoran. I think this win tonight probably gives them the advantage over Buena, the Colts of Buena High School. And I think the Bobcats most likely capture the 5A Sonoran crown because of power points.
Yeah.
And who knows, right? Again, we thought that the Bobcats were ranked 33 in the field for that open bracket, and it's a 4A, 5A, 6A tournament. Again, I'll be critical here of the AIA. I think it's a cash grab from the Arizona Interscholastic Association, so I'm not afraid to mince words there. I'm also not afraid to say very clearly and stridently that the AIA is more representative of the Phoenix and Scottsdale area schools than they are the Southern Arizona schools. So you can quote me on that one, and I'll say that 1,000 times. I'm not shy about my criticism of the Arizona Interscholastic Association. So I don't know. The Cats are 33, looking on the outside of the open bracket. If they make it, they'll be a 32 seed, playing the number 1 seed in the tournament, a 6A powerhouse. I don't know how good that is for the Bobcats going down the stretch, like physically, psychologically, emotionally. But here's a team that is very, very close, very gelled. The chemistry is off the charts, and these kids should be celebrating tonight because they just came through an epic war with the Cholla Chargers.
And I think the Cats can compete with most any Phoenix team. You know, even though they're really stacked, it's just I really feel like the Cats this year, they have so much chemistry, so much talent. I feel like they compete with really any team in the state.
I do too, and I think they certainly compete with teams that are on their same division level at the 5A level. Those 6A teams, Robert, I mean, they're just stacked. They're just stacked with Division I players who are going to excel at the next level playing collegiately. So I'm so proud of these boys and what they've accomplished thus far. I mean, I think, you know, Coach Apodaca likes to say the sky's the limit, and I truly believe the sky is the limit. There's so much talent on the Cienega Bobcat roster, plus the freshman team is just absolutely dynamite. That freshman class, I guess the class of 2026, that team is loaded. So I want to see how these kids progress and make their way through. There's a freshman who's on the freshman team and also the JV team, number 5. That kid was unbelievable. He threw a dunk down during the JV game.
Yeah.
I don't know his name, but he just drips like D1 talent as well as he continues to progress and mature and develop physically for Cienega. So, I mean, a great game here tonight. Again, I've got to do some tallying in terms of score, but give us a little bit of context here with what we saw tonight, and how does this help Cienega and Cholla, both programs moving forward, Robert?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great game tonight between Cholla and Cienega, and this win tonight kind of gave Cienega confidence. You know, that there was a lot of foul trouble going on at the beginning, but they really adjusted in the second half and were able to kind of keep their hands to themselves, play a little bit more passive while still being able to play the same amount of intensity and play great defense and go score the ball. I mean, the offense really picked up in the second half. You could see it. It was, yeah.
No, go ahead. You're right. I mean, you talked about it early, the intensity, just in terms of the sheer effort that was put out here from both teams and the players from both programs was off the charts. I mean, it was this max effort from both programs.
Yeah. You could definitely tell both teams really wanted it. You know, they were giving everything they had tonight. They were really just trying their best to win this game. It was a really close game until the very end. Cienega started to pull away a little bit, but both teams really just played their hearts out. They played amazing, and it was really fun to come here and watch this game. Really fun.
Yeah, it was a great game. Are we going to do post-game interviews, Mr. Irvin? Let's do it. I want to talk to Eric Bejarano, I think. And, man, it's so hard, Robert, sometimes to pick players, right?
Yeah.
We try to distribute the wealth and talk to different kids and different cats. I mean, you could pick anybody out there who was on the floor for Cienega tonight, and they would be a worthy interview to talk to.
Everybody that played made a huge impact.
The other part of me wants to talk to Masai Dean, quite honestly, dropping 36 points in this gymnasium tonight. That kid was just unbelievable, just sublime as a player. I have such respect for him and his game and his dad as a coach. Again, his dad was a standout player at Tucson High School, class of 1993, a Badger of Tucson. And you can just tell, like, that team was just so efficient and so efficient from shooting from the floor. So very impressive.
Yeah, it was, great game tonight, though. Great game by everyone. Everyone who touched the floor really made an impact for both teams. Everyone played. They played great on defense, great offensively, hustled.
Yeah, it's just nuts, right? So I've got totals here. It took me all that time to do my tallying, which, again, this is unofficial scorekeeping. So Moses Behige, I'll go down the line for Cienega first and then talk about Cholla. So Moses Behige with 9 points, Ben Kamak with 10, Isaac Sadabnev with 2, Connor Bailey with 9, Eric Bejarano with a big 7 points off the bench tonight, Gabe Proctor with 12, Mason Tippett with 18 to lead the Cats. For Cholla, Masai Dean with 36 points was just unbelievable. Ciaran Williams had 3 points. Anthony Rascon had 2. Fabian Escobedo had 2. Adrian Perez had 9. Cameron Walker had 4. And again, I'll say this one more time. Cameron Walker did not deserve to get that 5th foul. That was a bad call. So we would say egregious, like really bad. So, and that made a difference, right? But we have got great respect for these Chargers from Cholla High School. So stay tuned. I guess I'll go down the floor, grab a couple of quick interviews, and then we'll wrap this. But Robert, man, you're just like dynamite as an analyst.
Thank you. It's fun.
You could do this professionally if you wanted to make that a career.
I wish.
I would say that.
I wish I could.
So don't wish, just make it happen, right? I'm going to push you in that direction. I don't know what you want to do, but I mean, if you're going to college, university after high school, is that the plan?
I mean, that's been a dream, all my life to really work in sports. And
so I think you have different options. There's sports management, there's sports broadcasting. We've got some Bobcat TV alum who are working in media locally. Justin Spears with ESPN 1490 Radio, the Arizona Daily Star. Alec White was formerly of the Star, and University of Arizona, UATV. He's now working for the Buffalo Bills in their marketing office and department. So, something with sports or sports management. I know they have majors for those and master's degrees in those. I think that's a path. So I would encourage you to go in that direction. But, man, you just did such exemplary work here tonight, and it was a pleasure to call this game with you, sir.
It was fun.
Good man.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have interviews down on the floor with hopefully a couple of Cats and hopefully at least one Charger. So stay tuned. Masai Dean Jr. and Masai. What was going through your mind tonight and how you were feeling it?
Well, I mean, we're 12 and 5. This was a big game for us. We were going in trying to clinch a home game. I mean, I tried to play my heart out. It was my last high school game, regular season, and I just tried to do my best.
Well, you did that. Robert Ortiz, who was my color analyst tonight, and I were both in awe of how good that you were. And you're as delivered, as advertised, just relentless, fearless, taking the ball to the rack. When your big player went down, Cameron Walker, in the first half with foul trouble, you guys actually extended the lead to 9 points. Tell me about how resilient you and your teammates were to extend that lead in the first half.
I mean, we're all a brotherhood, so when a brother goes down, we try to fight for him, and I mean, the refs were definitely not on our side tonight, but I mean, we try to do our best. But I mean, the foul, I don't know what the foul count was, but whatever it was not fair in my opinion. But yeah.
In my opinion as well, especially against Cameron Walker. We talked about that live in the broadcast. So you're a great player. We wish you the best of luck moving forward in your playoff run. I'll be rooting for Cholla.
I appreciate that, sir. Thank you.
You bet. Masai Dean Sr. Well, let me ask you about your son first. How proud are you of him as a player? I know he was a freshman as a sharpshooter and then handling the basketball as a sophomore, junior by necessity. I mean, he is the complete package. How proud are you of your son to start with?
Very proud, man. He works hard. He does a good job. He works hard. He's dedicated. He's a feisty little guy. I'm real proud of him. I tough loss tonight, but it's always mixed emotions because he performs well, and I'm very proud of him. Very, very proud of him. Very happy that he's developed the way he's developed.
And your team was very resilient, right? So dealing with Cameron Walker being on the bench with 3 fouls so quickly. I don't know if he played 9 or 10 minutes in the total game here tonight, and that was so unfortunate. And we talked about that at length during the broadcast. But can you tell me about how resilient that your team was to overcome that kind of adversity?
I thought it was. I thought the kids played well. High school basketball is about the kids. It's not about the officials, and sometimes the adults forget that it's about the kids. And I thought tonight was one of those nights, just to be frank with you. One guy shoots 25 free throws, and the other guy fouls out. So I mean, it's I've never really seen anything like this tonight, to be quite frank with you. I've never seen one kid shoot this many free throws, and it was kind of tough, but I thought our kids fought hard. I thought they stayed in it, but it was some tough results. It's tough not having our big fella out there. Cam's a talented player. He's our defensive anchor. Really, really tough when when we were playing against another guy that's 6'7", and we don't get a chance to get our guy out there. So
exactly. So a comp would be like, imagine the Phoenix Suns without DeAndre Ayton. It just changes the whole complexion of the game. And what we saw from Cameron Walker was unbelievable. So
I mean, it'd be one thing, I guess, if he got fouls blocking shots, but he picked up 4 fouls standing with his hands straight up. So I'm not sure what else to do. That's what the refs tell us to teach the kids to do. And I know I'm biased, but I thought he put his hands up a few times, and tough game. They give credit to Coach Apodaca and Cienega. They play well, no complaints. They did a good job. I known Jason for many, many, many years, so give him some credit.
I agree with you, Coach. I think the high school basketball, this is a message for the AIA and your officials and the supervisory officials. The game's about the kids. The referees should be not as visible as a presence in games as they were maybe tonight. So I agree with you completely. Coach, I had much respect for you. So your winning percentage at Cholla is a 687 in year 12, which is unbelievable. I wish you continued success, and I'll be rooting for you and your Chargers in the playoffs, sir.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the coverage, man. You do a great job.
Coach, appreciate you. All right, guys, we'll be back with an interview with a couple of cats. So Masai Dean Jr., Masai Dean Sr., a dynamic father-son tandem. Wish you guys the best. Thank you. All right, let me start with Ben Kamak, and then Ben, you can peel off here. Great game for you here tonight, as usual. The energy, the effort. It's not just you, this whole squad. Can you tell me about your team and everybody who contributes, who gets onto the floor? It's just one player after another, maximal effort tonight.
Yeah, everyone just plays hard, and I was a little tough on the guys early on because we came out flat, but I just told them that I care about them. That's the only reason why I was getting on them. I care about each and every single one of them, and I know how great we can be, and all my teammates. I told them, let's just pick it up in the second half, and everyone played phenomenal the second half, and the effort was just amazing.
Yeah, that third quarter, you guys really clawed back in there. The momentum totally shifted in the third. What was the message from Coach at halftime?
He was just telling us to dig down deep. He said we were good. We just need to play, get some stops, move the ball. We were shooting the ball at a poor percentage in the first half, but he said don't worry about that. Just keep staying aggressive, and all the shots are going to start falling.
Can you talk about Masai Dean and how good he is as a player?
Yeah, I've been playing against him like the past 4 years. I played club with him. He's a great player. He's a phenomenal player. He was hitting some tough shots today, but at the end of the game, I had to get some stops on him. But he's a phenomenal player.
Ben Kamak, great job.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Coach Apodaca. So I didn't realize here that Mason Tippett had 26 rebounds. I mean, that's Dennis Rodman territory. Tell me about Mason and all the boys in your squad.
Well, I think I've said it numerous times, the senior group is unbelievable. I couldn't get a better senior group for my first year. They're totally bought in. They're dedicated. They care for each other. And they play so hard. And I was super, and I'll go on him in a sec. I was so confident at halftime because I said, we're 7 for 27. We've missed easy shots that we make. I said, we're getting exactly what we want, and it's going to work in the second half. And I knew it. And we're clutch, and I knew these guys would come through. They're just unbelievable. And this guy is an absolute monster. And his advancement this year has been just spectacular. And, he's so good now, like Ben. He's going to play in college, play college basketball. He's absolutely spectacular. So that kind of effort, I'm assuming that's some kind of school record. But I can only brag about the 7 seniors that leads the rest of the team because it all started with them, and they've bought in 100, and that's led to now. So it goes to them. All I do is run around and yell and coach these guys, but the credit goes to them. They're unbelievable.
I think the previous record was 17, so you not only eclipsed it, you smashed it with 26 rebounds. Coach, why did they tee you up tonight? I'm curious about that.
No, I mean, I've been working really hard to be calm, and it's worked for the most part. I thought a little frustration, too many fouls in the first half. The flow of the game becomes so choppy, but at the end of the day, you know what? I settled in. I trust these guys. At the end of the day, I step back, take a deep breath, and say, we're good. And it worked out exactly how I thought it would. And it all goes to these guys. They're unbelievable. These guys are great.
Coach, congratulations.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.
Yes, Mason, come on in here. So, Mason, you guys improved to 20-6, so getting 20 wins in a season is a magical number. What does it mean for you and your teammates?
This is huge for me, especially coming off of volleyball and winning state. That's our expectation for this year. We want another one of those banners, and working with these guys has been great. Every day in the gym, working as hard as we can. And to go 20-6 and like 9-0 at home, like we protected our home, and that really means a lot to us. And yeah,
I'm a big fan of your parents, and I saw that your dad gave you a hug this game. Last game it was your mom. What did your dad say to you tonight?
My dad was just saying I played a hell of a game.
Yes, you did.
And I was really working. I was just trying to do everything that I could to give my teammates opportunities and to score, put points on the board. And I really made it a focus to go and fight for every rebound that I could. And that translated with the 26 rebounds. And, yeah.
Congrats on the school record. Eric Bejarano was huge, 7 points tonight off the bench. Can you tell me about his contribution?
Eric, he's so consistent. Every game coming off the bench, like, amazing role player. He comes, you give him the ball in the corner and you can almost guarantee he's gonna knock that 3 down. He's a phenomenal player. Our whole senior class, like, we're all so locked in. Like, I don't know, it's just.
Last question for you. Cholla had 2 just standout players, Masai Dean and Cameron Walker. Can you tell me about how difficult it was to try to limit those 2 players?
It was hard, and we knew that we weren't going to be able to stop them, but our whole plan was to just slow them down as much as we could, and that worked because we were able to take Cam out of the game, and with these refs, it was tough because you couldn't put hands on, you couldn't, like, if you breathed on him a little too hard, it was a foul. It was difficult. But at the end of the day, we just wanted it more. We, at halftime, our coach was telling us, like, I'm not worried. Shot 7 for 27 inside the paint. That's insanely bad. And she was like, those shots are going to fall in the second. Just keep doing what we're doing, and we'll be good. And it's our home. It's our crowd, our energy. Like, it's our game to win, and we won.
Awesome job. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Bobcat TV shall return next Thursday. Girls soccer, it's a play-in state playoff game, 6 o'clock Thursday night. We'll see you on Bobcat TV for the whole crew. Nick Irvin, our director, Zita Neo on camera, Brianna Cueto on camera, Karan Watson, a special contributor tonight for Bobcat TV, Robert Ortiz on color. I'm Jason Miller. Good night, and we'll see you next Thursday for girls soccer. Peace.